Hi, I'm Seth Grover. I work in cybersecurity research and development at the Idaho National Laboratory. This week, we released version 3.3.0 of Malcolm, the powerful, easily deployable network traffic analysis tool suite. I'd like to take just a few minutes and highlight one of the new features I've added to Malcolm, which we hope you'll like. One of the most common questions people ask is, how can I make it easier to see the concerning traffic in my network right away without having to sift through tons of logs to find it? That's really the $64,000 question, isn't it? Over the last several Malcolm releases, we've tried to answer that question with the addition of the Security Overview and ICS/IoT Security Overview dashboards and the Anomaly Detection plugin. The release of Malcolm 3.3.0 and its Severity Scoring feature adds another arrow to your quiver in your battle against those threats to your network security. We've identified a few dozen severity categories, which can be found in your Malcolm directory under Logstash, Maps, malcolmseverity.yaml. This file is bind-mounted into Malcolm's Logstash container so that the scores associated with each category can be applied to Zeek logs as they are parsed and enriched on their way to being indexed for search. Zeek logs which match multiple categories, for example, say you have a long connection that is outbound traffic to a country of concern. They have their severity scores added together and then indexed into two fields, the severity score, which is capped at 100, and the raw severity score, which is the uncapped cumulative sum of the scores associated with the categories the log matched. Lower scores represent less severe network events, while higher scores indicate greater severity. Logs which don't match any of the severity categories won't be assigned to a severity score at all. The names of the categories which matched will also be indexed into the severity tags field. You can customize severity scoring in a few ways. First, by editing the numeric scores mapped to the categories in malcolm_severity.yaml. These scores should be set to an integer number between 0 and 100. Setting a category score to 0 will effectively disable that category. In addition to the 30 or so severity categories listed in that file, a severity score can be assigned for any supported application protocol by adding an entry where the key is formatted like protocol_XYZ, where XYZ is the uppercase value of the protocol as stored in the Zeek.service field. For example, to assign a severity score of 40 to Zeek logs generated for SSH traffic, you would add a line like protocol_SSH 40 to malcolmseverity.yaml. Restart Logstash after modifying malcolm_severity.yaml for the changes to take effect. The hostname insider subnet names interface provides a convenient button for restarting Logstash, or you can simply restart Malcolm. The other way severity scoring can be customized is through the environment variables stored in Malcolm's docker compose.yaml file. The Logstash severity scoring environment variable can be used to enable or disable the feature completely. The frequency severity threshold, total megabytes severity threshold, connection seconds severity threshold, and questionable country codes environment variables are used to fine-tune thresholds for the high entropy domain, high volume connection, long connection, and country of concern categories, respectively. Reference the Malcolm documentation for more details on these fields. Changes to these environment variables will require Malcolm to be restarted before they can take effect. The Severity Dashboard in Malcolm's Kibana instance can be used to view and filter Zeek logs by severity scores, and those filters can be used as a springboard to other dashboards as you investigate traffic of concern. We're interested in augmenting the list of severity categories referenced in this video, so if you have a suggestion, feel free to create an enhancement request on the Issues tab on github.com/idaholab/malcolm with your idea. We hope the severity scoring feature will help you more quickly identify potentially harmful elements in your network traffic. Thanks for watching.